Hi, I'm Ann Samoylov, and thanks for watching this Pilates teaching tip video. Um, Today I'm going to talk about something that kind of came up because of the first day's video, which talks about what I learned and what you can learn as well your first year of teaching. Things you should be aware of anyways that first year. This one, day 3, is all about choosing the studio versus a gym versus being an independent teacher who isn't affiliated with either. There are some pros and cons to both, and I think your first year there are some really good reasons to choose a studio or a gym. I'm not so up on the corporate gyms because I kind of feel like they probably just schedule people in, schedule, and they're more concerned about that as opposed to putting people with the right instructor. And at studios, at smaller studios, the owner, the person who's scheduling, can get a sense of the person's personality on the phone, know what the various teachers at the studio provide, and what kind of, you're always trying to make a good match between the two people, because Pilates is really different from it's the same really as being a personal trainer in a sense, because you really are having like a personal one-on-one relationship with someone, and in order for it to be a really productive period of time where you're working out and you're getting something out of it, you really do have to kind of connect with them on another level. It can't just be you go in and it's a service they provide, because if the person creeps you out, you just don't want to be with them. So, and that has happened, to people, or, people have very different kind of personalities, and personalities clash, and all of a sudden you realize you're paying $80 for a session and you don't want to be with someone who annoys you. So that's the reality of that. So I think though that when you're first deciding, between these options, you really want to look at what your overall goals are, your long-term goals. If you plan on wanting to own a studio someday, or if you don't want a studio ever, you're pretty sure about that, and you just want to teach Pilates part-time, you don't want to have to think about booking clients, or maybe you already do have about 4 or 5 people that you taught during your apprentice and your practice hours at the course, the certification course. Maybe those people have signed on and they really want to keep going with you, so that's great. I definitely think that working in a studio environment is a good opportunity to learn and be around other teachers who've been through it. You can bounce ideas off of them. You can come to them if you're having a challenge with a client, and often the people in these studios will have a similar background as you, if you've chosen that kind of studio. The corporate gyms seem, like I said, to fill their schedule, and they might spend some time evaluating the clients, and but I do think that there's more of a numbers game when you go to the fitness club that's trying to just pop people into a schedule. So just be aware of that. And if you do end up working at one of those gyms, which on another side can provide you with a little bit of stability, because you don't have to think about booking people, and generally there's always a fresh turnover of people joining gyms and wanting to try out new exercise classes. You can sometimes even get insurance benefits there, whereas at a lot of studios actually none of the studios I've worked in have offered insurance benefits. So if that's something you need, then you might want to consider doing that, at least for a short period of time, until you feel more confident and you get to know more people in the industry in your area. Let's see what else. I'm sorry, I'm looking over at my notes. The thing that you have to also be aware of is that these people at the gym may or may not, you really want to make sure you screen them, even if they've been pre-screened in some way. You want to make sure that they are healthy enough to do the exercise and that you feel comfortable training them. If they have, and even if you've been training for a while and you've just never had someone with a certain kind of issue with a part of their body, you might not feel comfortable training them just yet. And I would just be completely honest with the office who books people, the booking office, or see if there's another teacher at the studio who might be better suited to this person. I have done this only on a few occasions, but they were pretty specific occasions where there was no way that I could handle the situation. I didn't even want to try. Not at that moment anyways, and I don't think I still do. If you want to know what that was all about, you can definitely email me, but I'll save that. The other thing is, you working on your own is another option that you might want to consider, because it does have its positive side, which is you can make your own hours and you can work pretty much wherever you want. There's always studios that are renting a space to teachers, so you don't even have to really have your own equipment. I mean, if you do, that's wonderful, and then you're not paying any overhead at all. But bringing people into your home is always iffy, and I only do that with a few clients that I absolutely know and trust and like a lot. So working though on your own does have its drawbacks, because even though you have this control over your schedule, you are constantly fighting and trying to find new clients and putting up ads and doing this and doing that and networking and trying, and so when you're first learning to teach, I think it's better to find a studio, even a small studio, that can give you some clients, and maybe you can find clients on your own to bring in and rent. If you do a combination kind of thing like that, where you have a few people that you've brought in, you really need to make it very clear with the studio and make sure they know who your clients are and who their clients are, because there's always a client ownership situation that comes up at studios. It hasn't come up with me yet, because I always try to keep things super clean. I don't want there to be any misunderstanding. So if someone even walks into the studio, even if I'm the only person there, they are there for that studio. And it's as simple as that. And I'd much rather it be like that and have my efforts be my clients. I never want there to be a question about my integrity on that level. So, whether you choose to do a studio versus a gym versus, just being an independent client, teacher rather, really just think about all of the things that you might encounter in these areas. Either way, you're still going to need the basic kind of liability insurance and your business license. So you might as well just work at a studio for now, so you can be around other teachers, you can be teaching regularly, maybe even get some group class experience in, and you can really see how a studio runs before you start even doing a small home practice. But the home practice can be great too, and I've had a lot of fun teaching my mommies here, and I think you'll have to feel it out when you feel comfortable doing that. And that's it for today. This is day 3, and I just wanted to give you my input on whether you should go to a Pilates studio, a corporate or a bigger gym, or work solely as an independent Pilates instructor. Have a great rest of your day, and get ready for the next one. It's coming right up. Bye. Bye.